All right. So, welcome to the Generation versus Generation interview
We're not
with
fighting, by the way.
no. So I'm Milan,
I'm Lilo.
and we're here with.
Tom?
Samantha.
Nice to meet you folks. I
You
definitely
too.
don't know you.
All right. So we're just gonna ask you questions about like what it was like in you guys' generations.
We're not going to assume your ages here.
Okay.
No. So what generations are you guys from? Like, if you feel comfortable with that.
I'm pre-boomer.
Okay.
I'm post-boomer.
Okay. We'll assume a lot of things with that.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, welcome to the stage. So, first question. So, let's say you guys didn't have texting back then. Of course not.
Yeah.
So, how did you guys deal with trying to get in touch with your friends or family?
Girl, when I was growing up, if you wasn't at home or you didn't have a voicemail, then that friend would just have to keep trying or possibly knock on the door and get my mom yelling like, "Who knocking on my door?" without announcing yourself type of vibe going on.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
What about you, Mr. Tom?
There were so many kids in my neighborhood that mom just kicked me out the house, and I did fine. When I was so young, I couldn't find my house because all the houses looked the same. But I remembered the curtains that my mom hung in the front windows. That's how I found my way home before I could read and before I knew what the numbers were on the doors.
Wow. I want to start off strong. So, what's something that you miss from back then the most?
What do I miss? I miss not being so accessible. Like everybody can text and call you. They can see when that little light is on when you're on social media. I like my privacy. I miss that.
There was a milkman that had big chunks of ice to keep his milk cold. And now and then he would chop a block off and give it to us out the back of his truck. That's cool.
Oh, wow. So, how did you guys listen to music? Like, we know that there's instruments.
We know how, but
Yeah. But were there, because in some generations there was Walkmans and Playboys, MP3 players, but was there a specific way you guys listened to music the most?
There's an evolution to this. So my mom started me out on albums, LPs they would call them. That's her generation that eased into my generation. Then we had cassette tapes. Then after cassette tapes, we had Walkman somewhere in between that you can put your cassette in. Then there was CDs, and we also had the Walkmans that you can put your CDs in. And then all that technical stuff you guys do came after that.
Well, we had the radio, the AM radio. This was before we didn't have FM at first. When I was tiny, we didn't have television. Our first television was black and white. And then later on, we got the long play records and so forth. Yeah.
Speaking of television, actually, so what shows did you guys watch back then? I know there was a bunch. A lot of the shows we watch now mostly started then or are from then. So I don't know, what shows did you watch? Cartoons, movies.
I watched a lot of the shows my mom was watching, like Bewitched, Flintstones, but that wasn't my generation. My generation, I enjoyed The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, The Cosby Show, oh man, Arsenio Hall Show. Yeah.
Westerns were big. Hopalong Cassidy. You remember him? The Lone Ranger. Yeah.
Okay, adding on to that question, I hear my nana talk about Saturday morning cartoons, and it always just kind of confused me. Was it just TV in the mornings, or would they put things on later in the day, or was there just times of the day when there just wasn't anything on at all? It was just static.
For us, my generation, TV came on early in the morning. You had your cartoons. Then the afternoon was more well, you're talking about weekday or weekend. On the weekdays, there were no cartoons in the morning. It was daytime TV and soap operas that my mom would watch, but of course we would watch with her. But on the weekends, you had your cartoons in the morning, and then more infomercial type of stuff in the afternoon, then the evening movies, and then the TV would just go blank, fuzz. Yes.
Wow.
Yeah.
That so it just had its own bedtime.
And you didn't have a
Yes.
choice.
No choice.
That's
Dang.
wild. What about you, Mr. Tom?
Well, I don't know. I didn't watch much TV on Saturdays, I guess. But cartoons were. I don't remember cartoons in the afternoon, just in the morning.
Wow. So like thinking about like how that works, how do you guys feel about like the streaming services and stuff we have now?
Yeah.
You know, you can like go back and watch all of your old cartoons
Yeah.
on certain ones, right?
At this point, I just watch what everybody else is watching because I only do my movies in the evening time after I finish all my work and homeschooling you guys. Yes, but as far as the shows and streaming, I think it's amazing because there's so much at your fingertips that we didn't have back then. Like if a cartoon is over, you can actually go back and watch it 10 or you know how Kimberly is watching it over and over again. Back when we were coming up, once it was over, it was just over. So I like the idea of being able to rewatch stuff.
I'm a YouTuber. I watch a heck of a lot, and I make some myself.
So like, how do you guys feel about like the reboots of certain shows?
Oh, yeah.
Like, because I know for me at least, shows that like I used to watch when I was little, seeing it being rebooted makes me like upset. Like it, I
Like
feel
it
like
really
it's-
depends on how good it
yeah,
looks.
it just kind of ruined the authenticity of the show to begin with.
Mhm.
So like, was there any shows that you guys liked to watch that?
I
just
know it
kinda,
happened
like-
to your generation a lot.
Yeah.
Well, The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air has been rebooted. For me, it's not my thing, but I think it's cool that your generation gets to see a smidgen of what we saw because it's rebooted and it's updated to the lifestyle that you guys live versus where we were coming from. Like I noticed when we were watching Fresh Prince of Bel-Air recently, you were talking about the colors, how they popped out,
Yeah.
but that's not in the reboot. So it's a difference, the reboots. It's like I said, it's not for me, but I love the fact that your generation gets exposed to it because it was great TV.
This is a question that doesn't apply to me because we haven't had a TV for the last 25 years.
Oh wow. Wow.
You know, that is something you really don't hear every day.
Yeah, yeah. I
At all.
don't think I've ever met anyone who hasn't had a TV in their house. Just think about that. Like that's like props to you guys for like being able to entertain yourself.
like,
There's a real
actually.
dinosaur.
So what do you do besides that instead of
What,
watching
beg pardon?
TV?
besides watching TV.
What do I do? Well, I was looking at the list in the brochure, and I think we need to add an 11th or 10 of them, right? I think we need to add one more. My wife and I have been reading to each other after supper, short stories. And really, when you were a tiny kid, before you could read yourself, you enjoyed somebody reading to you, right? With pictures, too.
Mhm.
But that's how you learn to read. You stop to think about it. A kid learns to read a page by hearing it again and again and again, and then pretty soon he learns to tie the letters to the sound, and so forth. So anyway, it's a very simple and very early pleasure, and I think it never should go out of style. You know, why not read to each other when we're adults?
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah. I have another question. So like, what was when you were like our age? What was like the coolest like toy or gadget
Oh,
you guys
yeah.
had? Like the hot thing.
Like the thing people are fighting over on
Yeah.
Black Fridays.
Yeah, like whatever kid wanted for Christmas.
I didn't get into the trendy stuff, but I remember my sister wanting Cabbage Patch Kids. Yeah. And my brother wanting Transformers, stuff like that.
Oh, you told me you had a My Buddy doll.
Yeah, the
My
My Buddy.
Buddy.
Yes, I forgot about that. My Buddy.
You guys know what a My Buddy doll is, right? Or Chucky. That works too.
Yeah.
Oh, that's another question. I'm gonna let you answer yours first.
Well, one choice would be a chemistry set, but I didn't have any competition there. My next sibling is a gal, and my final sibling is like 8 years younger than I, and he wasn't allowed to touch the stuff. But the toy that my sister and I loved was an Appalachian dancing doll. Have you ever seen one of those?
No, I've never heard of it.
It was made by my great grandfather, who
wow.
lived to be almost 104.
My
And
goodness.
he had a piece of wood that he could put on his leg, and then this dancing doll had loose joints. And when you hold the doll with the stick stuck into the doll's back, and you draw your leg like that, the doll taps. And it's actually used in concerts, in mountain concerts, as a rhythm instrument.
Oh wow.
But you see the doll dancing and you hear the rhythm. It's really neat thing.
Wow, that's cool.
Well, thank you for your perspectives on your lives and ours. I really appreciate it.
Yeah.
Because like it's genuinely interesting to know what you guys think about like all the stuff we have now.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's cool.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
Thank you.